This truck has one of the coolest suspension systems of any truck. Actually, it has two cool suspension systems. Welcome to another edition of Important, where we check out cars that aren't built by American brands or in the United States, but are particularly interesting or important to the US market. And the Toyota Tacoma is both of those things. First off, it's the best-selling midsize pickup by far, which makes it a benchmark in a class full of American trucks. And in the case of this top-of-the-line Tacoma TRD Pro, it is very interesting. The TRD Pro is the highest performance off-road version of the Tacoma and goes up against trucks like the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2, the Ford Ranger Raptor, and the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. As you can see, it is a very high rider, and I'll have more on that in a second, but first let me tell you what comes with the TRD Pro. It comes with the Tacoma's most powerful iForce Max hybrid powertrain, which is based off of a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and cranks out 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, which gets sent to a 4-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case and a locking rear differential. Along with that, you get a ton of off-road gear, rock rails, a steel rear bumper with recovery hooks, and provisions for a high-lift jack. There's an enormous bash plate up front and additional composite protection down the middle. It has a 2-inch lift up front, 1.5 in the rear, and rides on 18-inch wheels with 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory tires that help provide 11 inches of ground clearance. Meanwhile, rigid fog lamps and the now signature TRD LED light bar help show you the way. But this truck's standout feature, so to speak, is its suspension system, which features beefed up TRD control arms and other parts, and a set of 2.5-inch Fox QS3 remote reservoir shock absorbers, which can be adjusted through 3 levels of stiffness. But that's not the only suspension on this truck. The TRD Pro comes with a feature that's never been seen before on a production vehicle. It calls the Isodynamic seat. It's equipped with vertical and horizontal dampers aimed at improving comfort and control on rough roads. They can be switched from a firmer street mode to off-road mode, and the pressure can be adjusted using the Isodynamic seat air pump, which is basically an air pump. In fact, you are supposed to adjust them based on the weight of the passenger, so hopefully you and your friends are close. And no, I won't be telling you how much pressure mine have. One not insignificant issue is that those suspensions take up quite a bit of space in the back of the seat. And on my 6'1" test, where I see how I fit behind myself with the front seat set for me, yeah, not gonna happen. Even though I've pushed this thing up, it's gonna be a little problematic. And I'm not sure how great those things are gonna feel if you're in a car accident and knock your knees into them. Because of the equipment, the seats have a manually adjustable back, but they are heated and cooled. TRD Pro is also loaded with dual digital displays, a suite of electronic driver aids, including lane centering adaptive cruise control, 360-degree camera with an off-road mode, and a head-up display. As a result of all that, the price for this, $65,395, and they don't sell it without any of those options. That's $10,000 or more expensive than the base Ranger Raptor, Gladiator Mojave, or Colorado ZR2. If you get all the options on those trucks, they do get closer to this in price, but that's the thing, you don't have to get all the options on those trucks. Right now, this is take it or leave. Plus out back, there's a power tailgate that doesn't just go down, but also up. And out here, do you really need all that stuff? First things first, the power from the hybrid is outstanding. Lots of torque and very responsive. The last Tacoma only had 278 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque, so it's a big difference. Plus, with an 8-speed automatic transmission, now this gets 23 miles per gallon combined. It was 20 in the old one, despite being less powerful. And you can get some really rough stuff with this, because it has a detachable front stabilizer bar that gives it more articulation. Now, the adjustable shocks on the truck are no joke. They have 3 settings, and there's a very noticeable difference between soft and firm. As is often the case, the Mama Bear setting seems just right, but if you're planning on getting air, I found soft to be the best. I'd say the bump stops are no joke either. They definitely put in some work. Now about the suspension in the seats. First, I'm going to switch them into street mode just to see how they do on my little whoop section up ahead here. And let's give it a shot. Now the idea is when they're working, they're supposed to keep your body more in phase with the vehicle so you're not bouncing around as much side to side and all that. So right now these feel like pretty normal off-road seats and they're not bad. Now I'm going to give her the old off-road setting, which has been tailored to my weight. Let's see how different it is here. And this is really the ideal situation where the truck is going to be bouncing around a lot. Going to be honest, I'm not feeling as huge of a difference as when I switched the truck suspension from soft to hard. But they might offer a little improvement, and maybe if I was out in Baja doing this all day, I'd have a different feeling about it. But I'm just not getting the sense of having a ton more control compared to the street setting. Then again, I don't claim to have the off-road experience of Ivan Stewart. That said, I am technically a pro, so that's something me and the truck have in common. Would love to have the opportunity to test these back to back with regular seats, but again, that's not possible right now. Regardless of that, this is a great little off-road truck. I'm sure Tacoma fans are gonna love it. And it's got a different enough flavor to set it apart from the Ranger Raptor, the Colorado ZR2, and that Jeep Gladiator Mojave.